Thanks for staying here. Let's continue now with Burt Collymore, IT specialist. But you can hear me now, the landline. So my good technicians put in a system in place. We will get you hear me on the landline, and we'll see you on the video line. So we have that mesh, nice and easy. Well done, Dan and Kate. I was saying before we had the technical mishap, I'm very much impressed with the approach to the nomenclature, the Beanfield IT Academy. What are some of the programs and initiatives that you engage with the youngsters under the program?
Okay, the idea was, since some of the educators at the digital conference had already initiated a program of robotics, I thought they had the necessary acumen to kind of help us roll out this program, especially when it comes to robotics. You know, little Raspberry Pi devices where the children can see. The thing is, we live in a world of instant gratification, you know, and scientific experiments called the marshmallow test have already shown that especially children, the disposition to want that instant gratification. We live in a culture of social everything. We want likes, we want this, we want that. Everybody wants the hype, so we want that now. We want it now. So I didn't want a program whereby it would be a long theoretical stuff, and they didn't have the fun component to it. So we wanted to add that with the robotics. So that's why we were hoping that we would have had that part already rolled out in our program. But it's something pending. Currently, we give JavaScript programming because we use this Academy platform because it also gives instant results of what the kids are doing when it comes to programming, because programming can be a very complex topic and it deals with a lot of critical thinking and critical analysis. So we didn't want them to just be writing code without seeing little animations, little things happening in this game. So we use JavaScript for Khan Academy, and also we use the program, which now is being incorporated by the ministry. As you know, the ministry is now trying to get coding as something that's staple into the education system. So we're using things like Scratch programming, Tinker, Minecraft programming, which is a Microsoft initiative that the whole world has been embarking on to find from President Obama and all of the big superstars endorsing it. It's something huge, Serena Williams. Everybody's endorsing it, and it's something that hundreds of millions of children in the U.S. and across the world. We thought that, well, why not our children? Why St. Lucian kids have to be left? We need to be into the fray of things and give them something that helps them in the future, give them skill sets that are necessary. So basically, we actually engage in teaching them JavaScript programming, animations, more in the form of animation.
Excellent. And the interest levels amongst them, how interested are they? Are they really catching on?
Very interested, and that is the beauty, You see, when you do something and you see that smile, or that somebody say, yeah, they feel great about achieving something, and they keep coming. Of course, we have had some dropouts. Like everything else, people will find it a little too difficult, or some of our students also had other initiatives that they had to take, like music and stuff that kind of clash with having the program on a Saturday. So that was one of the drawbacks. But each time you find someone living up a seat, somebody was eager to take it up. So yeah, it's been going from strength to strength, and the kids are loving it. So that, to me, is the benefit, the reward.
Excellent. We know Viewfort. There's nothing different to Viewfort than what exists around the island, but we know the challenges that the youngsters have in Viewfort and around St. Lucia. How do you see programs like yours assisting St. Lucia and assisting us with our crime mitigation efforts and developing youngsters in a more progressive and positive manner?
Well, idle minds lead to idle hands, And if you see that we don't have to reinvent the wheel, you just have to look at models that have been established. When you have countries like Singapore, zero, net zero. I mean, I'll put a community, okay, Rwanda was one of the most violent countries in Africa in the 90s. We followed up the massacre to and Hutu, right? Millions of people hacking people with cutlasses and stuff like that, barbaric, right? Look at Rwanda today. You hardly have crime. So the models have existed. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. You look at the Scandinavian countries, Nordic countries. They had a problem of teenage delinquency and violence and stuff. How did they solve it? I mean, the models are there. Grassroots programs. That's what it is. You see, it's simple. We are social beings. Social. It starts with the home, which is the nucleus. If the home cannot do it and people fall for the cracks, it's really left with the community. The community, then the nation, and then the world. So we have to create programs within the community sphere that form some form of safety net for the children. And that is what has been done in the countries. Why do you think countries like Finland are the number one in education and the Nordic countries hardly have teenage delinquency? Well, some narrowing up their head, but we have had models and examples. So there is nothing new or nothing groundbreaking here,
Yeah.
Just the will to do it.
I think you hit it spot on. There are a plethora of examples and models. It's the will to get it done. But you getting it done in
Well, you have to walk the walk, It's not just talk the talk.
Absolutely. In as small as you're contributing, you're doing just that. You're walking the walk. How are you funded, Burt, and what more do you need in terms of support to do more for the youth of you for?
Self-funding. I pay for everything. Every Saturday I need to buy the kids pizza, give them a little popcorn and a juice, just to make them know that there is something. It's fun. I pay for it. Imagine that. I will tell you a story. Once there was a training in the center for principals, all principals in the school, right? Island-wide. They were teaching them some new technology, how to assist them in evaluating children and performance and stuff like that, So you could have empirical measurements, a metric as to how students are doing within the school system. And the Taiwanese delegate was, well, not the delegate, but one of the assistants was there. And I was telling her about the program, and I said, well, yeah, I pay for the pizza. She said, you crazy, spend your own money? I said, well, yes, I have to.
Passion for you to do it.
They found that so, like I was some madman.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I could take $400 a month, right, and go and blast it in a bar or someplace. But doing it for the community is more rewarding. Yeah. And you see, there's a thing called paying forward. It's a global concept called paying forward. That's you receive today. You got to pay forward.
Absolutely.
And help somebody in the future.
Absolutely.
That can help somebody. And it's a multiplicity approach.
Yeah. I have a Rastafarian sister who, not my blood sister, but Rastafarian sister who has a similar concept. She calls it pass on the blessing.
Here you go. Exactly.
pass on the blessing. Mr. Collymore, I want to take time to applaud you for what you're doing. Unsung hero. You don't have to do it, but you have a passion and you know the results. Not for yourself, but for the community and St. Lucia on a whole. So I want to applaud you and give you some good vibes so you can continue doing what you're soldering on. I want you to soldier on this mission. We have to conclude, but we'll bring you back another time, with no doubt.
Yes.
But your final message to St. Lucia and to our youngsters about the Beanfield IT Academy, your vision, where would you like to see it, and how can it fit into the national apparatus for youth development?
Yes, I think we need more volunteerism. Well, what I really wanted to do, the idea that I had is I'm saying, okay, let's say a grade 12 public servants might make about $4,000, right? So I'm saying for the salary of one public servant, we can split it in 10 students, or some students that have left school that are looking for a job, or students that are in A-level or whatever in the community. You give them $400 stipend, 10 of them, and a device, a laptop or something, and you train them for a week or two, and you could help them impact it to all these different areas in the community. That's one way of spreading what we're doing, grassroots program. So in England, there was a program of stabbings happening indiscriminately. What the footballers and all them did was have little safe spaces. You create safe spaces children can grow and they could learn something. That to me is an initiative that just keeps blessings that keep on giving,
Yeah.
So I think that's one way we can do it. If we can't get people to volunteer, then we can incentivize people.
Incentivize people, absolutely. Absolutely.
And it does not take much. It only takes the salary of one public servant.
Yeah. And the willpower.
The will, it's the will.
And the willpower.
There is a way.
My good man, I enjoyed this thoroughly. I'll bring you back again very soon because I think you're a very intelligent young man and you have so much more to impart and so much more we can learn from you. But I want to thank you for coming on this morning. We are out of time today. Safe journey up to your job. For what you do nationally, I know your boss wouldn't mind the few minutes delayed this morning.
Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. Burt Collymore from the Beanfield IT Academy. I'll allow Burt to go because my next comment may be a bit sensitive. It's not political at all. But we'll link you up as a Good Morning St. Lucia and Mr. LeBon, we need to link Burt up with Mr. Brian Dyer in Viewfort. Brian would be very much interested in what you're doing and I can guarantee that he will lend support. Mr. Dyer, friend of the show, we say good morning to him. He's always blessing us with good vibes.
I welcome anybody. I welcome everybody. Anybody.
But I want you to go because I know your professional position and what I'm about to say next might ruffle some feathers.
Thank you for insulating me. I'm not political at all.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I want you to go. I want you to go so you don't get mixed up in what I want to say next. So have a blessed day.
I understand the nature of St. Lucia.
Have a blessed day.
I have to do what I have to do. Thanks for the advertisement.
Thanks for doing. It's not advertisement. You have our full support. Have a blessed day.
All right.
Yeah. But Collymore, let me tell you, if we're really interested in changing what's happening in St. Lucia, we need to start listening to people like Burt. We need to start supporting their programs, not in word of mouth, but in tangible ways. So I know Mr. Dyer will support him. Dr. Anthony, if you haven't heard of Burt, your affiliates need to introduce you to Burt very, very soon. Member of Parliament for Viewfort South. You need to meet this young man. You need to see what he's doing. You need to learn what he's doing. And you need to support what he's doing humbly. So I'm not sure if you've heard of him, Burt Collymore, the Beanfield IT Academy. Check him out. And the next in line, link up with Burt. Give him some support. This is your Viewfort. He has a stake. He's been doing it with no fanfare from his pocket, assisting the young kids in the Beanfield community and in Viewfort on extension. So, Miss Next in Line, link up with Burt if you haven't already done so. 10 minutes now before 8 o'clock our time in St. Lucia and across the Eastern Caribbean. We did advertise the legendary Ronald Bohingson, who shares an interesting perspective and is a very concerned citizen here on the island. We had some technical setbacks with our last guest, so I'll have to double check to see if Ronald Bohingson, the legendary Ronald Bohingson, is still available. Always pleasure engaging with Mr. Hinkson, so we'll take a minute to just check to see if he's available. He was my next scheduled guest. But coming up at about 8:05 this morning, 8 o'clock, 8:05 this morning, we will have a very special guest who will remain anonymous throughout the interview as U.S. authorities tie up their track arrangements to come to St. Lucia in response to the death of a U.S. inmate, a U.S. citizen who was an inmate at the Bord Lake Correctional Facility. It's a new course to discuss. Good morning, St. Lucia, with your humble servant, Shannon LeBon, on this Wednesday, November 2nd. Stay first now. We'll be back in just a bit.
Get your clothes sparkling clean with whites and brighter colors. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. Ultra concentrated formula gives more washes with brightening factors added to keep your clothes looking new. And with added organic fabric softener, your clothes will be soft and fluffy. Joby antibacterial washing powder is also effective in stain removal for cleaner, brighter, softer clothes with the sweet scent of early spring morning. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. My family, my love, my Joby. Available at supermarkets island-wide. For orders, call 455-3076.
Ooh la la! See what's new at Courts. We've got great deals on living and dining room sets, appliances, electronics, and smart devices, and more. Shop today with no cash using Courts Ready Finance. 3 to 48-month payment plans available. Shop in-store or online at courts.com. Come see what's new and take advantage of these great deals. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.
A young man from Bagatelle has Virginia calls on the public to not stigmatize his vehicular accidents along the Bexar Highway. From Shasta welcomes the scrutiny of its CI. One man is in police custody following the shooting death of the wife of a police officer.
Look out for the midday news with Daniela Edwin on Hot 7 TV. Sometimes life can knock you off the ground, but surprisingly, an encouraging word can hoist you back to your feet. What we all need is someone in our corner. Someone like Dr. Tanji.
Hi, I have 3 questions for you. 1, have you discovered your purpose? 2, have you discovered your ability? And 3, are you planning your life's path?
Dr. Tanji has inspired audiences on radio stations throughout the U.S. and in the Caribbean on Kiss FM with the Dr. Tanji Show. Now, sister station Hot 7 TV teams up with Kiss FM to bring the Dr. Tanji Show to television.
I will share my wealth of experience, my affinity to life, and assist you in fulfilling your call. By tuning in to the Dr. Tanji Show on Hot 7 TV and Kiss FM, you and I will begin to explore the answers to these questions and many more. And in these challenging times, it's just what the doctor ordered.
One with In Loving Memory, celebrating lives. Whether it's a birthday, a wedding anniversary, or some memorable occasion, or the anniversary of the passing of the dearly departed, Hot 7 TV will create a moving video tribute of that special person, showing how much he or she meant to you. Treasured memories, unforgettable moments. Share them with the world and repeat the airing as often as you'd like. Help keep your loved one's memory alive forever in the minds and hearts of all who care. In Loving Memory, celebrating lives. Contact us at telephone number 452-6040 or email us at inlovingmemory@caribbeanhottv.com.
Get your clothes sparkling clean with whiter whites and brighter colors. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. Ultra concentrated formula gives more washes with brightening factors added to keep your clothes looking new. And with the added organic fabric softener, your clothes will be soft and fluffy. Joby antibacterial washing powder is also effective in stain removal for cleaner, brighter, softer clothes. The sweet scent of early spring morning. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. My family, my love, my Joby. Available at supermarkets island-wide. For orders, call 455-3076.
la la! See what's new at Courts. We've got great deals on living and dining room sets,